Awesome. So this is final GBM of the semester. I want to cover just a couple of announcements really quick, just so you know what's going on after the official end of Night Hacks this week. We're still hiring for our sponsorship team. So sponsorship team, we're still trying to recruit a sponsorship team. There's applications on Linktree. Very, very important. We need a sponsorship team. I don't think that there's an immediate deadline. Probably we will not start actually interviewing candidates until after finals, just because no one wants to be doing an interview during finals. The other really important thing is that our officer forms are still open. You can still declare for one of our 4 officer positions. That'll be due on Monday at 11:59, and we'll be voting after that. So president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, they are all still open and still very, very widely available. So please consider running for a position. And all of that is on hex.org/Linktree. Okay, one other thing that's happening, we did a joint workshop yesterday with Active Minds, which is a mental health advocacy club. They're having an event right after this that starts at 4 o'clock. So we'll unfortunately have to miss the first hour. But it's in the Key West Ballroom. There'll be music, lots of free things. The whole point is to de-stress before finals, so it's widely applicable to everyone. I'd highly recommend you go if you don't have anything else going on after this. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, so really quick rundown of what we're going to do today. The first hour-ish, probably a little bit less, we're going to go over all our project submissions. The primary purpose of this is to hold a project showcase all the work that our project teams actually put in over the semester and the projects they were able to come up with. And then we'll give out some awards to everyone that was part of the project program. And then after that, most of you guys are probably here for pizza and shirts. We will do that, I promise. And that'll be in the second hour. We'll play some games. And afterwards, you can head over to the US Ballroom if you want. Okay, really quick, what we're going to do is we want to recognize a couple of Night Hacks team members from this semester and from last semester that were super helpful in getting our hackathon running all of our programs last year. There's 6 of them in total. I'm going to start with the one that most of you guys probably won't know because I have not actually met Dima in person. The only time that I've been able to talk to him was last spring, 2021, via Zoom. So Dima was on our backend dev team, also did a little bit with our front-end dev team. He was the first project's co-director, the first year that we did projects, so not this year, but the year previous when I was doing it. And therefore, he is the father of all projects. Try to give everyone a little tagline, just for fun. I'm going to just run through everyone really quick. Arjun, you probably know Arjun if you were here last semester. Arjun was our dev director, so he was in charge of leading all of our dev teams and coordinating all the work that went together. He started a sort of workshop series on Saturdays last spring called Killing and Coding Interview to practice a lot of algorithmic and data structure questions, which was super helpful. I went to several of those. All of our professional development events last semester were all his inception. He ran many workshops. And we also started basically every single argument that we kept track of. We had an argument jar running throughout the semester, and I think at least 95% of them had his name on it. So he was very good at that. And then Aileen, who I don't think is here, was our secretary last semester, our front-end lead, professional development, and resume critique. She was also a great help with getting that off the ground. She started our social media team this year and also the monthly newsletter. And then she was also usually the finisher of Arjun's arguments, except a couple that were with other people. All right, a couple more. Saneet, if you were part of the projects last semester, Saneet was one of the co-directors. He is also the lead of our Discord bot team, which did not actually work this semester. We're dealing with lots of other issues, but he did a lot of really good work on that. I looked at all of our GitHub repositories, and I think I saw him on every single one. So he contributed to basically every single dev team. And he is also the creator of the statically typed Discord role, which can be yours if you're interested in that. And then 2 more. Albert last semester was our mobile team lead, ran several workshops. He also helped with Killing and Coding Interview and professional development. And of the 2 C's, he is the longer tenured. I think he was involved since last spring. And then our last one that we want to recognize is his twin brother, Brian, who joined our data team last semester and is currently our data team lead. So we did not have a data team at the beginning of last semester. Arjun was like, hey, we should have a data team. And now we do, which is really cool. So he helped with a lot of collecting hackathon feedback, a lot of sign up data at the beginning of the semester, trying to coordinate all of our forms. And he joined much more recently. So none of those people are actually here, which makes this a little bit weird. It kind of feels like a in memoriam a little bit. So I'm proud that none of them died.
A lot of them are at the senior showcase.
That is true. This is definitely a difficult time for any seniors to go there. But I just want to throw out there, all these people have been super helpful. I give them a round of applause, but literally none of them are here, so it doesn't matter. All right, so I just want to run through that really quick. Thank you, everyone. We really, really appreciate your contributions. I know I made friends with literally all these people. They're super valuable connections, and I'm very glad to have met them while they were still here. Okay, stacking this over, we're going to jump into the project showcase at this point. So this semester we had 13 project teams, which was down last semester from 20, which was a lot. But in contrast, we had way more submissions this semester than we have literally any other semester. I was part of the projects last spring, 2021, and I think we had 3. Last semester in the fall, we had 20 teams and 3 of them submitted, which is a very, very low percentage. And it's really awesome to see so many teams actually make it through the end of the semester. And it gives me a little bit of confidence that what we're doing is at least headed in the right direction. So what we're doing for every single project team member as a thank you for actually sticking with us for the whole semester is we're going to give every single person who submitted a $10 Amazon gift card. We really appreciate your commitment to the program to make it really good, and also to your teammates for sticking around the whole semester. And then in addition, we have a couple of categories that we want to award prizes for. And the winning team in each one will get $20 added to each member's gift cards for a total of 30. And we're going to give one prize for overall, our favorites, and then one for the best UI design, and one for the best functionality. The reason why we split into 2 categories is that it's no surprise that a lot of projects don't get finished by the end of the semester. So some projects choose to focus on one over the other, and so we want to recognize both of those as much as possible. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through every single project submitted. There are 7 of them. It should be pretty quick. I promise we're not going to slog through everything. We're going to at least introduce the project, look at the demo video so you can see how it works. And then we'll talk about what we liked, what we would like to see if the project continues, and then I'll have a brief opportunity to ask questions, if any. I know I saw many of your groups here. I don't know if all of them are offhand, but we will do our best. And then we'll announce winners for each category. If you were part of projects, we will get back with you at a later date because this week is a disaster. So we'll be in contact with you about your gift card. And after that, we get to start the teams. Okay, awesome. So first project that was submitted was a hardware project called Pandora's Music Box. And it was submitted by Jordan, Borelli, and Christian.
Anything here?
I know I saw somebody, Christian in the back. Okay.
That's fine.
That's all right. So this was a hardware project, and I apologize in advance if we horribly butcher this description. You're welcome to correct me at any point. But the description that we took was that it's a hardware project that detects the closest key to 7 notes that you play on the top of the box there. And there's vibration sensors to identify when you're pressing it, and it turns it into a sound, which is really, really cool. So go ahead and run the demo if you would, please.
Oh, is there a sound? Where's the sound?
Oh.
Maybe.
Yes, I did see the PowerPoint, and I didn't want to play the whole PowerPoint per se. But
I don't know why there's no sound. That's very sad.
some of them had sound, and some of them didn't, but I didn't remember. This is probably our fault. Can you check like the audio input in the PowerPoint? Yeah, or like is it?
Nope.
Oh.
Must be a very.
Never mind. There's just no sound.
No, it's just very silent. I promise it was louder when we looked at it.
And then turn this volume down so that we don't have a terrible surprise in about 5 minutes.
Yes. Good call.
Okay. Go ahead and move on to the next slide, please. So what we really loved about this was that it was a really great integration of hardware and software. You definitely did focus on one or the other. Everything looked gorgeous. It was a really unique idea. We really loved it. And things we'd like to see is really just more cool stuff added to it. And that was exactly what your wish list was. So we totally agree. We're very, very happy with this one, how it turned out. Awesome work. Okay. Team 4 submitted a collection of 2-player games. So this was Mark, Anthony, Alex, and Julia, and I'm going to butcher this name correctly. Adrian. Okay, thank you for the help. Are any of you guys here, by the way? Okay, so we have one person from Team 4. So it was a collection of 2-player games. So you can play it on one keyboard. It was made with Unity and C#. There was no demo video, so I attached a couple of photos of each of the games to each slide. So this was a rock, paper, scissors game where one person would use the W key and one person would use the arrow keys, and you pick one at the same time, which was very, very clever. And I really enjoyed the imagery, the graphic. And then this one, we took a little while to figure out what it was, but I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it's sort of like Frogger, where you're trying to get to the top of the screen and get points for it, which is really cool. Again, it uses the same keyboard. And then the last one was a tic-tac-toe game. So each person from the group created their own game and integrated it together with a menu screen, which was awesome. And slide to the next one. Okay, so what we really loved about this was that we could not find anything wrong with it. So we did a lot of error checking on everything that we could actually run, and we did not find anything that did not work, which was awesome. The variety was good. It was very complete, which was also a huge plus. We really enjoyed you guys trying something completely different with Unity. Since you mentioned that none of you had used it before. That was our only Unity project this semester, so I'm really glad that you guys tried something interesting. There were a couple of things that we would like to see in the future, maybe like some usability improvements. A lot of the things that you had to click were just text elements, which don't really scream, I need to be clicked. Maybe turning those into buttons so that it's a little more clear what the user needs to do. And then beyond that, just, upgrade the UI, add some more games, same as your future plans. We really enjoyed it. Good work.
I'm gonna turn the slides up for you because I need to pick up the pizza.
Oh,
Is that
all
okay?
right. Sabrina, you're being recruited.
Yes.
Oh, wait, you were also
No,
going to get pizza though.
You're getting.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone help it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Team number 6 made a multiplayer 2-player Wordle game. This was Jason, Raheem, and Kyle. So it was a Wordle game where you're trying to guess the word first, and you can see in live time how close the other person is. The UI was excellent. We really, really enjoyed how it looked. We can actually run the demo for this. Can you exit out and then try and go into that link? Maybe you can just click it. There we go. Okay, and then full screen it if you don't mind.
Should we skip ahead? It's like
Yeah, you can skip ahead. The first section was just logging in and signing up. So this is the UI. So player 1 is going to be on this side, and then everything for the other person is hidden, the other dude. One thing that we noticed that we weren't entirely sure on the first go was that there's a keyboard input down here, but it doesn't seem like that actually gets used for anything. My guess was that potentially you were going to have the keys light up, like when the actual keyboard input was pressed. Is that I'm seeing a nod? Yeah, so that would be an excellent look. And you can skip ahead a little bit more just to the end of the game if you don't mind. So you can run through things pretty quickly. Okay, so there were lots of really good error checking on this. So if you don't have the right word or if it's not a correct word, yeah, it's an excellent project. We really, really enjoyed this one. It's a very good clone. Like you guys really did a great job on making it look and feel like Wordle, comparatively to some of the other multiplayer Wordles that I played, which are very, very fun. Next slide, please. So what we liked about this was that the game screen was excellent. You guys absolutely crushed it. It was very complete. I could not find anything that did not work, which was awesome. And we really enjoyed the interesting spin on something that's very popular and that I still do to this day. One thing I would like to see is that a little bit of a cleanup of the login and sign up UI, which looks very bare bones at this point, which is totally fine. It's totally functional, but making it a little bit more match the aesthetic of the rest of the game. Another thing would be playing again directly from the end of the game screen instead of like logging you out so that you don't have to constantly regenerate a game. And then also just let me play with internet strangers because I want to play this game so desperately. Awesome, you guys did an excellent job. And let's move on to the next one. Okay, team number 8 was Calvin, Mario, Mateus, and Gabriel, and Omari. And they created a web app called Knights Gaming. And the point of this web app was to find information about, discover, review, and save to your wish list, your favorite games to play. And the goal of this was to integrate IAGDB API, which has information about all kinds of video games in order to access game information. And so they made a web app using React and Flask, which was a really interesting combination rather than sticking with a traditional integration. Let's go on to the next slide. So what we loved about this was that it had a really good direction and it was a really ambitious project, which we always support. We would love to see people try things that they've never done before. And that's exactly what you guys did, even if you ran out of time a little bit at the end. And also I really liked the sort of like the completeness of what you were trying to do, trying with new technologies, integrating different data sources. I think it's a really great learning project and I hope you guys learned from it. And also I saw all of you guys on Friday, almost every single week, working together, asking questions. So you guys definitely have bonus points for me for teamwork and collaboration. What we'd like to see is it. In the end, it did not come together. So finish integration so that we can actually see it. And then also come up with some new, unique, interesting features in order to justify using this over something else. I know I talked to one of you several times about how you could use the information from the API with regards to your Flask server. Finding some interesting ways to integrate that data with your actual product would be awesome. And I would love to see how it turns out. Please keep working on this. Okay, a couple more, I promise. So this project is an app called My Fitness Friend. So this was from Colby, Zach, and Nader, and Caitlin. Sorry, I forgot your last name, my bad. And so this was a fitness app for recording your weight, your calories, and your workout routines. And we have another video link here to play that. So we really liked how completely functional this was. It seemed like you accounted for a lot of different things and made sure that they all were implemented by the end of the semester, which was awesome. So login, register were excellent. You can probably skip ahead a little bit since this one is also kind of long. So lots of different screens for different things. The home screen where you can see like a review of all of your information. We really love the touch the graph at the bottom that updates as you input additional weights. Editing your profile, that's absolutely critical. So I'm glad that you guys put that in there. And everything just looks really good. It looks very clean. It looks very neat. It's very well color coordinated. And we really enjoyed it. Okay, you can go ahead and slide back to the PowerPoint.
You do.
Okay, excellent. So a couple things we love about this. I pretty much just mentioned all of them, but I'll mention it again. It was very complete, very finished, very functional, and very cohesive. Everything worked together and had points to be in there, which we love. We like that you accomplished a lot of different features, even if they weren't super ambitious each one. Being able to do lots of things with your product is excellent. And also, the graph animation was really cool. I thought it was a really good touch that you guys paid attention to detail. A couple of suggestions were that some of the UI could use a little bit of touch-ups. There were, I think, one of the judges mentioned, oh my God, I forgot the closing parenthesis, that's gonna kill me. There were a couple buttons that were really just text links, which makes a little bit more sense on a web browser where you're clicking on links, but on a phone, it definitely makes more sense to have it as an actual button. Variety of color, just general touch-ups to make it look a little bit prettier would be awesome. And then, keep integrating new features. You guys did an excellent job on this one. We loved it a lot. And I want to say we have 2 more, but this might be the last one. No more than 2 more. So this was a to-do timer. The only person on the submission was Michael Suda. I know that you had a group. I don't know what happened with that, but I know that you were the only one on GitHub. So this was a to-do list and a Pomodoro timer with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We tested it out a little bit. So this is the main screen here where you can implement different tasks, check them off, and then also have your timer and your rest timer as well. We loved a lot of things about this. There was a starting screen GIF that I did not take a picture of that I shouldn't have because it was so beautiful. We really loved it. The vibe and aesthetic of this was excellent. Everything worked together really well, and the timer was good. I tried to break it as much as I could, and I couldn't break the timer, which is awesome. The one thing that I could break was the to-dos list. The to-dos list could use a little bit of extra UI constraints so that it's not overflowing the desks and blocking the to-do timer and things like that, which, if it's just a couple of minor fixes. And then another thing would be having your to-do list persist over page refreshes. So implementing something that lets it store state. And then as your wish list suggested, add some music to make it a vibe, and then port it over to an extension. If you port it to an extension, it will make persisting the list much easier. So those two things go together as well. But excellent job. You absolutely killed it on this one. We have one more. We do have.
I think this is the last one.
Okay, I think we have one more. So this was an internship tracker from a group that started off as 5 or 6 people and ended up as 2. So this was Luke and Michael. And it was a web app. It was not a web app. It was a mobile app. I promise I did try and proofread this. So this was a mobile app for tracking applications and their statuses. We had a couple of screens on here. There was no demo videos. We just took the screenshots from your dev post. If you go to the next slide here, it's a really great idea. I think it's something that I would use. It's something that we can all use. The UI was excellent. We absolutely loved it. Everything that was in there was very well stylized, and we couldn't find anything that looked bad in any way, shape, or form. And we also really enjoyed the code structure and the teamwork between the two of you, even if you didn't have a full team. I know I talked with you guys several times, and I think you guys did an excellent job of giving yourselves an easy time, and then also working together on two separate projects at the same time, front and back. 2 things I'd like to see here is, first of all, just finish it. I know that one thing that we talked about this week was that we ran out of time to integrate the front and the back end, which were both developed. So I would love to see them just, finish that project. And then also let me use it, put it on the App Store, because I will use it and I would like to. Okay, that's all out of the way. So that was all 7 projects. So we're going to run over the winners really quick. I wanted to give an honorable mention in each category except the overall. Beforehand, unfortunately, we have a limited budget, so honorable mention does not get any additional prize money, but the winners will. And so again, we put it into 3 categories: one for UI and design, so the projects that maybe had a really good UI but weren't fully functional yet. A category for functionality, so anything that focused on the core features and maybe left some of the design to the wayside, which is totally fine. And then an overall category for what got finished in both departments. So honorable mention for UI/design, drum roll please. All right, 2-player Clubhouse games from Mark, Alex, Julia, and Adrienne. Adrienne, I'm so sorry. We really, really love this one. The UI was excellent. Everything worked really well. Keep it going. It was an excellent project. We really enjoyed it. And the winner for UI and design, let's go to the next slide. It's going to be a live drum rolling, so we'll just skip the drum roll this time. The internship tracker. Again, it was not fully functional, but it looked brilliant. We were able to load it up. I was going to have everyone clap it after I finished remarks. I do want everyone to clap. This has been a very silent event so far. We really, really loved it. I know you guys didn't get to actually finish all the functionality you wanted, but we were able to load it up. I sent a message to one of you guys last night asking if those screenshots were from a Figma because they looked so good. And we were able to load it up and prove that it was real. You guys did an excellent job. All right, round of applause. All right. Next, we're going to do an honorable mention for the functionality category. So maybe a project that focused on core features and got a lot of really good stuff in there, but didn't necessarily have the time to make it all look super good. And honorable mention goes to the multiplayer Wordle. You guys did an excellent job on this. I really enjoyed it. Seriously, I really do want to play this. So please publish it so that I can. Everything was good. We couldn't find any issues with it. I think you guys made a lot of really great decisions about how to get everything together. You guys did a great job. Okay, and then the winner for our functionality category is Pandora's Music Box. You guys did an excellent job on this. Excellent job on this. We were incredibly impressed by the demo video. I think you guys made a lot of really great stylistic decisions. The inside of the box really did look like Pandora's box with all the wiring and stuff. So it was very aptly named, but everything was put together really well. We were very impressed with it, even if none of us were music people. And so we were a little bit lost on the first read through of the description. But you guys absolutely killed it. Great work. And then last category is the overall winner of the 2022 Spring Projects program. And the winner is my fitness friend, Colby, Jack, Caitlin, and Nader. This was the pretty much unanimous winner. When we were trying to figure out our categories last night, we were trying to figure out what categories we were going to offer for. And this app in particular was the first thing that we threw around for any of the possible categories that we had. It did a great job of integrating lots of different functionality. Everything was cohesive. Everything looked good. You guys absolutely killed it. Okay. So that's pretty much everything I have here. Thank you everyone for being part of the projects, or if you weren't part of the projects, thank you for being part of Nighthawks. It's so awesome to see so many people here. Hopefully we'll see you again in the fall.